Have you ever wondered about the true power of honesty and generosity and how they can be wielded strategically? Welcome, fellow seekers of wisdom. Today, we're peeling back the layers of a concept so simple yet so profound, it might just change your understanding of power dynamics. We're diving into the 12th law of power as outlined in the seminal book, The 48 Laws of Power. This book, a modern classic, is a manual of sorts, a guide to understanding and navigating the complex world of power relations, and right in the heart of it, we find a law that seems almost contradictory in its essence. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. At first glance, it may seem counterintuitive. Isn't honesty always the best policy? And generosity, isn't that an act of kindness, void of any ulterior motives? Well, not quite. When we talk about power, we're venturing into a realm that goes beyond the black and white and into the grays, and it's in this shadowy realm that selective honesty and generosity find their true purpose. Selective honesty is about being truthful, but not all the time. It's about choosing the right moments to reveal the truth, and when to hold back. It's a subtle art, a delicate dance of truth and deception, designed to disarm, to surprise, to gain trust. Generosity, on the other hand, is about giving, but not without thought. It's about choosing whom to give to, what to give, and when. It's a strategic act, a calculated move designed to disarm, to create indebtedness, to gain influence. This law, like all the others, isn't about manipulation for the sake of it. It's about understanding the dynamics of power and how to navigate them effectively. It's about being strategic with your honesty and generosity, using them not just as virtues, but as tools in your arsenal of power. So, are you intrigued, fellow seekers of wisdom? Are you ready to delve deeper into the 12th law of power? If so, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Together, we'll continue our journey into the intricate world of power dynamics. Selective honesty isn't about deceit. It's about revealing truth with purpose and intent. It's the art of using truth as a tool, a strategy, a weapon even, in the grander scheme of things. Imagine a chessboard. Each pawn, each knight, each bishop has its own role, its own function. The queen, the most powerful piece, can move in any direction. Yet it's not always about making the most powerful move. Sometimes it's about making the most strategic one. That's selective honesty. It's not about revealing all truth at once, but rather disclosing information that serves a purpose, that aligns with a strategy. Selective honesty is a dance, a delicate balance between transparency and strategy. It's about understanding the power dynamics at play, about knowing when to hold back and when to reveal. It's about using truth not as an absolute, but as a variable in the equation of power. Consider a negotiation. If one party reveals all their cards up front, they lose leverage, they lose power. But if they strategically disclose information, if they're selectively honest, they can guide the negotiation, control the narrative, and ultimately hold the power. This isn't about lying or manipulating. It's about understanding that truth, like power, isn't absolute. It's about recognizing that truth can be used with purpose, with intent. It's about seeing truth as a strategic move on the chessboard of power. In the game of power, being selectively honest is like being the chess player who knows when to move their queen, when to sacrifice a pawn, when to hold back. It's about understanding the board, the pieces, the opponent, and making the move that best serves your strategy. Selective honesty isn't just about truth, it's about power. It's about understanding the dynamics at play and using truth as a strategic tool. It's about recognizing that in the game of power, truth isn't just about honesty, it's about strategy. It's about purpose, it's about intent. In the game of power, truth isn't black or white, it's a strategic move on the chessboard. Generosity isn't just about giving, it's about creating an atmosphere of indebtedness. Let's delve into the concept of strategic generosity. Imagine generosity as a master key, a tool that can open doors that seem impenetrable. It's not about doling out gifts blindly, but rather about giving thoughtfully, deliberately, and with a purpose. At its core, strategic generosity is about creating a sense of obligation, a kind of indebtedness that can be leveraged. It's about giving something of value to another, which in turn compels them to reciprocate. This reciprocity isn't just about returning the favor, it's about feeling obligated to do something because of what you've received. Think of generosity as a kind of social currency. When you give, you're not just providing something tangible or intangible to someone else. You're also making an investment, one that can yield significant returns in the form of loyalty, compliance, or influence. The trick is in knowing when, where, and how to give. Generosity can disarm even the most guarded individuals. When you give, you're showing that you're not a threat, that you're someone who can be trusted. This trust, once established, can be a powerful tool for influencing others and gaining their support. But remember, generosity isn't about being altruistic. It's about being strategic. It's about understanding the dynamics of power and using generosity to navigate these dynamics to your advantage. It's about knowing how to give, when to give, and most importantly, what to give. In the game of power, every act of generosity is a calculated move. It's a strategic play designed to gain an advantage. It's about creating a sense of obligation, a feeling of indebtedness that can be leveraged to your benefit. So, the next time you think about giving, consider how you can use generosity strategically. Think about how you can create a sense of obligation, how you can disarm others, and how you can leverage this to gain an advantage. Remember, in power play, every act of generosity is a calculated move. Now, let's look at some examples of the 12th law of power in action. Consider the historical figure of Cleopatra. The Queen of Egypt was known for her strategic generosity and selective honesty. She would charm her enemies with lavish gifts and grand gestures, disarming them with her apparent goodwill. Simultaneously, Cleopatra would be selectively honest about her intentions, revealing just enough to make her actions seem genuine while concealing her true objectives. This strategy allowed her to maintain her power and influence over Rome and Egypt. Moving on to a more contemporary example, let's look at the world of business. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was a master of this law. Jobs knew the power of selective honesty. He would openly admit to the flaws in his products, disarming critics with his apparent transparency. At the same time, Jobs would generously reward his loyal customers with innovative products and services. This combination of honesty and generosity made Apple one of the most successful companies in the world. In the realm of politics, we see the 12th law of power at play in the actions of Winston Churchill during World War II. Churchill was known for his candid speeches, where he openly acknowledged the grim reality of the war. This honesty, combined with his generous promises of victory and peace, disarmed his critics and rallied the nation behind him. Churchill's application of the 12th law of power played a crucial role in his successful leadership during the war. And finally, in the world of entertainment, Oprah Winfrey has effectively used this law. Her open discussions about her personal struggles, combined with her generous acts of philanthropy, have disarmed critics and endeared her to millions around the world. This strategy has played a key role in her rise to becoming a global media mogul. As we can see, the 12th law of power has been a strategic tool for many successful individuals. So how can we apply the 12th law of power in our daily lives? Well, it begins with a clear understanding of the people around us. We must be observant, sensitive to their needs and desires. This will enable us to use selective honesty and generosity as a tool to disarm and influence them. For instance, if someone is striving for recognition, a sincere compliment can win their trust and goodwill. But remember, the key word here is selective. It's not about being dishonest or insincere, rather it's about choosing the right moment and the right words to express our honesty. It's about timing our generosity so it doesn't come across as a manipulative tactic, but as a genuine act of kindness. A practical way to apply this law in our professional life could be by sharing valuable information or insights with our colleagues or superiors. This act of generosity can help us build trust and establish a positive rapport. But again, the key is to be selective and strategic. We shouldn't give away all our secrets or share information that could potentially harm us in the long run. In our personal life, we can apply this law by being selectively honest in our relationships. This doesn't mean lying or withholding important information, but rather being tactful in our communication, saying what needs to be said, not necessarily everything we think or feel. The 12th law of power also teaches us about the importance of reciprocity. When we give, people naturally feel obliged to give back. This is a powerful tool we can use to our advantage. But remember, our generosity should never be a transaction. It should come from a place of genuine care and concern. As we navigate through the intricate maze of power dynamics, let's not forget that power is not just about control, it's about influence. It's not just about getting what we want, it's about creating win-win situations where everyone benefits. Remember, power isn't just about dominance, it's about strategic thinking and careful maneuvering. Like, share and subscribe to continue this journey of understanding power.